So I finally had the time to make the video tutorial for this summer top that I made a few months ago. The pattern is very simple and it uses only one stitch for the entire blouse, so this is perfect for beginners who want to make their first crocheted clothing. It can be worn by every age and paired with any skirt or pants. Here I've worn it with skinny jeans and it looks perfect, especially for those very warm summer days. I'd like to explain that in this blouse, you're gonna have to work on two pieces, the front and the back. And that's very easy because the front and the back are identical, so once you've done that, all you have to do is sew it together at the shoulder and at the sides and you're done. To start this project, you have to work from the bottom of the blouse, going to the neckline and all the way to the shoulder. So the first thing that you would need to do is measure your size with a tape measure, and you're gonna have to make the foundation chain according to that measurement. So I'd like to make it clear that you're just gonna have to measure the front part of your top, not all around your body. So for example, I am an XL in Asian sizes, so I'm gonna chain 70 as the width of the front part of my blouse. So if you're a size small, try to chain 40 and hold it against your front waist. So you can increase or decrease this number, it's up to you. If you're a medium, maybe 50, or if you're a large, maybe 60. Now whatever number you choose, it should be divisible by 2. So for 70, it's 35, and for 40, it's 20. And later, you will need to add one more chain for the space in the middle. So for 70, it will be 71, and for 40, it will be 41. And all you're gonna need is one cone of this combed cotton. As you can see, it's a very big cone. It's 400 grams, and it's a 10-ply cotton yarn that is very good for making blouses. Okay, so we're gonna start with row 1. Okay, so all you need to do is come up with a size for your blouse. So it depends on you. Measure your front part with a just measure your front part and come up with a number that you think is good for your size. So in my case, for an XL, okay, 71 stitches is okay with me. Okay, I'm gonna pause right here. You can see when you reach the 71st chain, mark it with your thumb, and you have to chain 2, which counts as your first DC. Alright, so I'm pausing it here so you can read it and understand properly the instruction. On the 71st, or the extra 1 chain, mark that with your thumb, and from there you're gonna chain 2, which counts as your first DC. Alright, and go back to the 70th, to the stitch before that extra chain, and from there you're gonna make 1 double crochet. Alright, so now you have 2, and make 1 double crochet for every stitch following that stitch. So in this case, you will have, or I will make a total of 35. So I'm counting the first chain 2 there as the first DC, and then I'm gonna make a double crochet for the next 34 stitches. Okay, now I have 35 double crochets. I'm gonna count to make sure that I have the right number. This is very important, guys. Let's see how I'm double checking carefully to make sure I don't have an extra or a missing double crochet. Now I'm going to chain 1. Alright, I'm going to chain 1 and skip 1 stitch. So I'm gonna skip 1 stitch and then make a double crochet in the next stitch. Alright, so now I have a space right there. That's actually the 1 DC, or the 1 extra double crochet. And from here, I'm going to make 1 double crochet for every stitch until the last stitch, with a total of another 35 double crochets. Okay, so let's just speed this up again. So go on and do yours, and I'm gonna catch up with you at the end of this row. So if you have this crochet hook, the Furls Odyssey, you'll notice that the head actually snags. So I'm having a hard time with this multiply yarn because the head or the tip of the crochet hook, which is a bit rounded, usually snags. So that's the thing about this Furls Odyssey crochet hook. But I'm trying to learn how to use it because I really want to use it because it's beautiful. Actually, it's very comfortable to use. It's just that fat tip of the crochet hook usually snags in the yarn. So it's making my crocheting a bit slower than usual. Okay, we reached the end of this row. I'm counting if I have 35 stitches. Right. So sometimes you'll find that you have some extra chains left there at the end. So if ever you end up with an extra chain or two, all you have to do is manually undo those extra chains and you don't need to fret or to stress over it. As long as you have 35 DC on this side, which is a mirror of the other side. So if you're making a smaller size, let's say 25, so you should have 25 double crochets on each side with that one space here in the middle. Okay, so we have this one space there. That's very important because that will start our design, the pattern of our top. Okay, so now we're starting with row 3, chain 3, which counts as your first double crochet, and on the next stitch you're gonna make 1 double crochet and also 1 double crochet for every stitch, so that you will have a total of 34 stitches. Alright, just speed this up a bit. I'm gonna meet you there in the middle. So have you ever tried using this Furls Odyssey hook? Is it as comfortable as they say it is for you? In my case, I really love the handle. The handle is rounded and big and it lessens the pain in my fingers and wrist when crocheting. But I find that tip or the head, that rounded head of the hook, a bit difficult to work with. As you can see, it snags, especially with this kinds of yarns that has multiple plies. It tends to snag really, so you can see here. Right, it really slows down my crocheting, but it's okay because I like the handle and the length of the crochet hook. Okay, now we're reaching the middle. So now I have 34 double crochets. I'm counting to make sure I have 34. Now I have 34, and that's actually, there's one more stitch before I reach the space. Okay, now I have to chain 1. Okay, chain 1 and Make a double crochet right there in the space. Alright, so you chained one and you skipped one stitch and made a double crochet. Okay, make a double crochet right there in the space. Now you're gonna chain one again and skip that next stitch. Make a double crochet on the next stitch. So you have this kind of pattern. There are now 3 holes, okay, in the middle of our double crochets, and just go on ahead and make 1 double crochet for every stitch in this side of this row. Alright, so total 34 stitches or 34 double crochets for every or for each side of this row. Now we reach the end. Okay, so the second to the last stitch. Alright, and make sure you don't miss that last double crochet. Okay, some people might miss that and you'll end up with an even number of stitches for every side or for each side. So make sure you don't miss that last stitch so that you will have 34 double crochets on each side. Okay, I'm having a hard time, so I'm just gonna make that stitch right there. Alright, so now I have 34. Okay, I'm just gonna count to make sure. Okay, so that ends row 3 of our crochet top. Okay, we're gonna start with row 4. Turn over your work and chain 3. Remember that this counts as your first double crochet, and you go on ahead and make 1 double crochet for the next 32 stitches. So you see that snag over there that I'm talking about a while ago. Okay, so total of 33 double crochets for this side. I really want to love this Furls Odyssey crochet hook. That's why I keep using it in my projects. So I checked the Furl's website and I saw that they have new crochet hooks, new metal crochet hooks. I saw the gold one, the red, and the bronze, and they're really beautiful. I wish I could buy them, but I don't really have the budget at the moment, so maybe next year when I get a chance, I would love to have those metal hooks that they have right now. Alright, so we're reaching the middle of this row, and we said that you will have to make 33, okay, total of 33 double crochets before you reach the middle. And here you're gonna chain one and skip that next stitch. Make your double crochet right there in the space. Alright, so you skip that one stitch, made a double crochet in the space, another double crochet right there in the next stitch, and another double crochet right there in the next space. Okay, so you have 3 in the middle. Now you're gonna chain one, skip the next stitch, so skip that one, and proceed to make the next double crochet in that next stitch. So you can see that you've made this design. So there are 3 double crochets right there in the middle, and then spaces on each side of it, and you have to make 33 double crochets on each side of this row. You can already see our pattern. So this blouse is actually very easy to make because there are no fancy stitches needed. It's all double crochet. And the design is very simple. It all depends on the counting of the spaces. And as we said, don't forget the last one, and make sure to count that you have the exact same stitches on every side, on each side. So on this row we need to have 33 double crochets on each side, so make sure to count that. All right, and there in the middle we have 3 double crochets. In the previous row you have just 1. Alright, so in the next one you're gonna have 5, and in the next one you're gonna have 7. So here I already started, so please catch up with me. This time you have 32 double crochets on each side. Okay, so chain one, skip that one stitch, make a double crochet, and then make 3 double crochets in the next 3 stitches. and one more in that space. Chain one and skip one stitch and make your double crochets for this side. So I think in this row you need 32 double crochets for every side or for each side. So now you can see the pattern. We have 5 double crochets in the middle. Go ahead and make the remaining double crochets for this row. So just keep doing that until you make 12 rows. So now I have 12 rows. And I've put the numbers that you need to make here in the middle. So the first one is 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, 13, 15, 17, 19, and 21. So you can pause here and make sure to count the stitches, making sure that you have the right number. So the last row, row 12, you should have 21 double crochets right there in the middle. And when we go to the sides, so we started with 35 and then 34, 33, 32, 31, and so on until the last row, 24. For row 12, we have 24 double crochets for each side. So it's just a mirror. Okay, make sure that all numbers add up so that the design will come out perfectly. So you've reached the end of part 1. Congratulations. All right, and get ready for part 2, which I will publish in the next video. Okay, that's it for today, guys. Bye. See you in the next video.